Oftentimes when people use the word altar or think of an altar, they think of a church building. And all of us have gone to beautiful cathedrals, basilicas, and we've seen these great places, platforms and altars that are very ornate and very beautiful in nature. And we think, oh, that's the altar of the church. And indeed, it's referred to from an architectural standpoint as an altar area. In fact, we'll often use that term here at our church. We'll say something like, we're going to have an altar call today. To have an altar call means that we're inviting people to take a step in their relationship with God and to walk down to the front. You've seen me do that before, where we'll have people approach the front part of the platform, and we're making this a moment. And it's not about the physical location, it's about the action that's transpiring. But oftentimes people think of altars from a physical standpoint. I want to move you beyond that today, because when we think about altars, I want you to understand that you can have an altar with God anytime, any place. That should have gotten an amen right there, okay? You can have an altar with God on 270. Can you believe that? That would be a miracle, wouldn't it, okay? You can have an altar with God going around the Capitol Beltway or on Georgia Avenue or New Hampshire Avenue, or you can have an altar with God by your bed in your bedroom and in the den somewhere. You can have an altar with God as you're walking in a park somewhere. You can have altars with God all kind of different places, because an altar is not a place you go to, it's an experience you have in your relationship with Jesus Christ and your relationship with God. Because understand something. In the New Testament, an altar isn't a place or a ritual. There's one altar in the New Testament, and that's Jesus. Every time you come to Jesus, you're coming to the altar. Jesus is the altar. Now, what does this have to do with legacy? It has everything to do with legacy. The legacy you're going to leave with your life for others to follow as you're now living your life out, and the destiny you'll experience with your life. If you don't have any altars or very few altars in your life, you'll have a very superficial life. You'll have a life that has very little to offer those coming behind you. You might say, well, I'm going to get all this money. That will be my legacy. I'll leave it to my kids for their inheritance. Well, you may do that, but you'll not leave them a spiritual legacy. If you want to leave someone a spiritual legacy, you need to have some altars in your life, because without altars, encounters with God through Jesus Christ, where there's a personal experience, where there's a transformation that occurs inside of you, unless that happens, you and I will have a very pitiful legacy, spiritually speaking.